Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It's lovely to see you all again, as always. What this is basically going to be, guys, is me just ranting for a minute or two. It's not a video per se that I usually put out, but if it's not your type of thing, just feel free to click away from this one and just wait for the next one. I'm going to be basically moaning and groaning about the local elections that have that have recently just taken place, should I say. I am seeing the same thing unfolding time and time again. I don't know why, but every single time these elections come around, be it a local election or a general election, I get this severe feeling of foreboding, and you just feel so deflated and so depressed when you see the way things go. You know exactly the way it's going to go. It's been on the cards for a long time. It's been happening for over a century. But it still fills you with despair and dread. Now let me explain this, right? Now, as you can probably tell, you probably know these yourselves by now, Labour are trouncing the Conservatives. I know these are only local elections and they don't really hold much stead in the ways of seats of power, so to speak, but it is a good litmus test as to how the general election generally does go. Whoever succeeds, shall we say, in the local elections tend to go on to the general elections and win quite handsomely. And because Labour are doing that with the local elections, it fills me with despair. It fills me with dread. Now I know it can't be much worse, can it, than the Tory government that we have at the minute? Well, no it can't, but it can be worse. And that's what you've got to start thinking about when it comes to the general election specifically. Now, I've got to ask myself, what type of idiot does it take to go out to the polling station, look at Keir Starmer and his manifesto and his team of goblins that he has behind him on the opposition bench, for people to think, you know what, I'm going to vote for that guy, he's going to do right by our country. That's always confused me. No matter the Labour leader, it could have been Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, people still pour out and vote for them. Do you know why? Because people refuse to move from the mindset of blue bad, vote red, red bad, vote blue. It's been that way, like I say, for over a century now. I've got the Wikipedia up now. Minus the occasional coalition, it's always been Tory, Labour, Tory, Labour, Tory, Labour, with the occasional Liberal Democrat shoved in there somewhere along the line. Why can't we break away from this two-party system? Don't people realise that we do have other parties? Fair enough, most of them are shit. We've got Liberal Democrats, we've got Greens, we've got SNP, we've got SDP now we've got as well. They're not going to pull in the votes, but people have to realise that we don't have to go down the same road every single time we hold an election. It's boring, it's archaic, it's decadent, it's weak. We have the same two parties in every single fucking time, and we're in this swirling vortex of just bullshit. We have Labour get in on the back of Tory problems, blaming the Tory party and not fixing the problems that the Tory party initially instilled. And then the next time we have a Tory government on top of the Labour problems that they instilled and failed to correct them. And they're blaming the Labour party, and it just goes round and round and round every single time. And we've got problems that have been there since Tony Blair was in 10 Downing Street. That's how ridiculous this is. What makes people go out and vote for the same shit every single time we have an election? I can never ever get my head around it. Me, right? Every time there has been a party that I think, yes, they've got a good chance here. They never do have a good chance. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. Never ever have a good chance. When Nick Griffin captured the hearts of a few million in the UK way back when the BNP was prominent, until he made a bit of a tit himself on Question Time, I voted for the BNP because I wanted change. Even back then, when Nick Griffin was even a thing, I wanted change. When Nigel Farage was in charge of UKIP, I voted for them as well. Why? Because I wanted change. I was sick of the decadent policies of the Labour Party and the Conservatives. Reform. Yes, I've said in the past, reform are compromised. I don't trust Richard Tice even. But I swallowed my pride. I voted for them yesterday. Why? Because I want change. I am sick to death of seeing Labour and Conservative running this country. We either need a change in the political system itself, or we need some kind of revolution, because this is going nowhere. Like I say, we are just going round and round and round with the same old problems, the same old ideas, the same old policies, and the same old blame game from both parties. It makes my tits itch, guys, quite literally. Anyway, guys, that's my video. Well, I call it a video. That's my moan, I suppose you could say. Let me know what you think in the comments. What the hell is going on in this country? Are we ever going to see change? I highly doubt it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.